Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and with the official launch of the Galaxy S10 coming on February the 20th, with the actual launch date expected to be March 8th, if you're looking to upgrade your phone or you're excited about the new S10, we don't have to wait that long. But the good news is, if you're impatient like me and you really want to know what the S10 is going to be like, well, just look at this. We're basically getting an early hands-on. These leaked photos show the S10 and the S10 Plus. We're also expecting Samsung to launch the cheaper S10e, and also possibly even a 5G model as well, although that's rumored to come a few weeks later. These photos seem to confirm pretty much what we were all expecting from the new phones, with an almost bezel-less design and the new punch-hole selfie camera, or the pill-shaped dual selfie camera in the case of the S10 Plus. So Samsung has kind of skipped the 2018 notch trend, instead going for this punch-hole design, or what they're calling the Infinity O display, which to be honest is basically just a corner notch anyway. Which do you prefer the look of though? Vote in the poll at the top right to choose between the symmetrical bezel of the Note 9, the wider notch of the Huawei Mate 20 Pro, the small water drop notch of the OnePlus 6T, or the hole punch design of the Galaxy S10. So yes, we're going to get higher screen to body ratios, and although I do think the new S10 phones look good, you can see that the notification bar is bigger than before. It comes down further on the screen to keep the punch hole within it, which looks just a bit odd I think, and we're not really gaining that much more screen real estate. As for the screens, they'll all come with a taller 19:9 aspect ratio. That's up from the 18.5:9 on last year's S9 due to the the Infinity O design, with 5.8, 6.1 and 6.4 inch screen sizes respectively for the three phones, all with Quad HD Plus resolutions and using AMOLED panels. Elsewhere, the design hasn't really changed that much. The Bixby button is still here for some reason, although on the back we've now got an evolution of the Note 9's horizontal camera layout, but now we have a triple camera setup on both the S10 and the S10 Plus. We've got a 12 megapixel primary lens with an f1.5 to 2.4 variable aperture, a new 16 megapixel f1.9 ultra wide lens, and a 13 megapixel f2.4 telephoto lens, with the cheaper S10e missing out on that new ultra wide lens. As for the front camera, all three will share an improved 8 megapixel f1.7 selfie cam. However, the S10 Plus, as you can see, has that wider notch to accommodate a second lens, which we expect to be used for depth information, meaning we'll get live focus portrait selfies. You'll also notice there's no longer a fingerprint reader on the back, with Samsung instead opting for a new in-screen reader, like the Mate 20 Pro and the OnePlus 6T, plus a new improved 3D face scanner. But the best news is it looks like Samsung's keeping the 3.5mm headphone jack, which will sit beside the USB-C port and the bottom speaker grille. Now let's talk specs, and the S10 will be powered by the latest Snapdragon 855 or Samsung's own Exynos 9820 chip, depending on which region you live in. We'll also see 6 gigs of RAM on all phones, but up to 8 gigs plus a huge 1 terabyte storage option for the S10 Plus. There have been some leaked benchmarks for the S10 Plus, but I wouldn't really rely on these as they're using pre-release models with non-final software. I'll test it properly in my full review. One thing I really did want to see improve this year is battery life. The Note 9 was pretty good with its bigger 4000 mAh battery, but the S9 Plus weren't the best. The good news is the leaks suggest we are going to get bigger batteries across the board. 3100 mAh for the S10e, 3500 for the S10, and a whopping 4000 for the 10 Plus. That's the same size as the Note 9. And combined with Android 9 and the new Samsung One UI, we should see a nice little bump in battery life. Speaking of the UI, I'm really excited to see how Samsung's new One UI actually turns out, which at its core is designed to make these big phones easier to use one-handed, by pushing the things you're most likely to press and interact with lower down on the screen within reach of your thumb. One UI will also offer an updated look, including a full dark mode, focus blocks in apps that are easier to tap, more rounded corners, and redesigned icons. It looks good. So the S10s could be the best, most exciting phones in the world, but really it all comes down to price. If you can't afford it, then who cares? So let's talk money, and it seems the difference between each model is going to be about 100 quid, with the S10e starting at 699, the S10 at 799, and the S10 Plus at 899. That's for the base models of each, but a maxed out S10 Plus with 8 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage will be an eye-watering $13.99. So if we take the S10 versus the S9, we're looking at about a £60 price increase, which isn't the end of the world, but as usual, it seems every year phones are just getting more expensive. But then again, you look at the amazing budget options we have these days, like the Honor View 20, the OnePlus 6T, upcoming OnePlus 7, and it seems weird that on the high end with Apple and Samsung, prices going up, and yet we're seeing much better budget and mid-range phones. So I wonder if that's actually going to affect sales. But I guess the good news is that even if you're not that excited about the S10 or it's way too expensive, this coming out will then push down the prices of the Note 9, S9 Plus, S9, and still leaving the respectable S8. So you might be able to grab a great deal on one of those. Or it may actually be worth waiting for the potentially epic Galaxy S10 5G, which obviously will be their first 5G-enabled phone with an even bigger 6.66-inch screen, a huge 5,000 mAh battery, and a 4-lens camera setup, adding a time-of-flight 3D sensor. That would all be pretty cool, but also no doubt extremely expensive. So with all those leaks, photos, case renderings, all that stuff, I think we have a pretty good idea what we can expect from the S10, S10 Plus, and the new S10e or Lite when they announce it on February 20th. But make sure you do subscribe and stay tuned, as I'll have a full unboxing and hands-on video for you when it's announced, and also of course then proper reviews, battery comparisons, camera tests, all that good stuff soon afterwards. So make sure you do subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram as I post loads of behind the scenes stuff and give you updates through Insta stories about what I'm working on. So subscribe and follow me on Insta. So let me know what you make of the S10 so far in the comments. Are you tempted to buy one? Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you next time right here on the Tech Chat.